admiring some fashionable works created by some young Nigerians at the Kubo Furniture Market in the nation's capital, Abuja. The program is Business24, and I am Sophie Aigbomia. Welcome. One policy thrust of this administration is the diversification of the nation's economy so that Nigerians no longer suffer untold hardship occasioned by the volatility of oil prices on the global markets. Consequently, Nigerians are beginning to look inward and become better at what they do, making them more competitive both at home and on the international market scene. The timber and furniture market industry is one of such areas where ingenuity of Nigerians has come to play. Now, a quick look at the data from the CSIL Milan shows that Nigeria is among the top 10 furniture importers and consumed more than $100 million worth of furniture in 2013 alone. On Business24 today, we shall take a peep into the world of luxury where talent, imaginations and creativity meet needs and desire. We also have our regulars moving Nigeria beyond oil. You will also meet our young entrepreneur for the week, plus those expert tips and a review of the capital markets. All this for your delight, only after this break. Now let's get down to the business of the day. The business of comfort, luxury and interior decoration has become a very lucrative business, putting meals on the tables of those who engage in them. The business has attracted a lot of attention as even the younger generation is bringing in some sort of ingenuity in the sector. Chimabi Walter Naji visited the Kubo timber and furniture markets here in the nation's capital to find out how creativity is making impacts in this range of made in Nigeria products.
Located along Nyanya-Maraba Road, the Kubo Timber and Furniture Market has been in existence for about 2 decades, serving as a one-stop shop for anything and everything that has to do with woodwork, hence the presence of timber traders, furniture makers of different categories. This market houses over 700 furniture shops and about 600 timber shops. It has created over 1,500 indirect jobs and over 4,000 direct jobs. One of the things this market is visibly known for is home and office furniture, which is always visibly on display in different showrooms. Mr. Chimezie Ndumele is the chairman Nyanyakaru Furniture Manufacturers Association Kubo, and he tells me that 80 to 100% of their jobs are produced with locally sourced components. He said the market association, in a bid to ensure that young Nigerians have something doing, have engaged in lots of free skill acquisition training for school leavers and those seeking to build a career in furniture making.
Some people that have already used our furniture know the value of an imported one and the one we manufacture here. And some of us are into contracts, government contracts. We pay, like at times, there's one job I have last time, we have to pay so and so percent to so and so ministry, that is a part of revenue to government too.
The timber section of the market provides raw materials for furniture making, and the chairman of Kubo Timber Shed, Emmanuel Samuel, says the market has been a source of revenue generation for government as they pay their taxes promptly.
Enormous job opportunities ranging from laborers, operators, and those who plan woods. They have a lot of job opportunities. Many of them are coming here to look for their daily bread.
Mr. Walter Emeka has been on the job for over 25 years and has trained over 50 people who are doing well in the areas of furniture making, but he regrets that younger people are running away from the job as it is energy demanding without the use of machineries. He says Nigerian furniture makers can compete favorably in the international market.
Because you need machineries so that you can be able to compete with what is obtainable outside Nigeria. But that assistance is not forthcoming. You need loan to buy your machineries, and the procedure is too tough, so you can't afford it.
The Kubo Furniture and Timber Market in Abuja also provides opportunity for petty traders to make brisk business as food vendors and others seize the opportunity to satisfy the scourging hunger of traders. In Abuja, Chimobi Walter Naji for Business24.
The timber business has been on for decades. It is one of the major raw materials for those who are into furniture making, building and others. How thriving is this business? Can anyone who wants to be gainfully engaged venture into it? Kunle Adeyeye, who visited the Kubo Timber Market, has answers.
It is always business as usual at this market. Those buying in small and large quantities flood the market on a daily basis. These traders source for these materials from different parts of the country, ranging from the southwest states to Kogi in the north-central, Edo and Cross River states in the south-south, and up to Taraba in the northeast, depending on the purpose it will be used for. How does one get into the business? Ogochukwu Nwoyeocha, 37, says there are not too many hurdles to be crossed before an intending trader becomes established. He says apart from the rainy season, when it is always hectic to get the logs out of the forests, other months of the year are periods for serious business as turnovers are really cheering.
It's a very nice business. I've been into this business for a while now. And since then, it has been successful to me. Because it's a very nice business that young Nigeria, they are into. Like you can see us here, you can see the environment, you can see everywhere. We are progressing, you understand? So we are moving forward. It's a very nice business. Like contractors, government contractors, estate developers, builders, engineers, and architects. Like most of construction companies, most of like furnitures market from inside town, from local side, from outside. Like Abuja here. So they are patronized in several ways. We do deliver wood in part of the nation, like north, south, east. Your sign. In terms of wooden business, a very nice business we have been into. Yeah, if you move the market move very well, at least you can make, let's just say, you can make up to 200, 250 a month.
If you are in doubt about Ogochukwu's revelation, then listen to 31-year-old Moses Tar, who is still learning the techniques of the trade. What he realizes on a daily basis will only require a little extra to be on his own.
That's small. Not be say go carry big money before you start business. Even 200,000 person fit start business. And the way we build your now you come the organizers, then many organizers they see them today. This timber business is doing well. Everything is going well.
The logs undergo many processes before becoming planks, and one of such is sawing. It might be labeled as a menial job, but Michael Daniel, who has been a sawyer for 15 years, said any other engagement could not have been more rewarding.
The business is fine. At least we'll get what we live with. Because the business is fine. I think with the business, I can boast of what I've achieved in this business. I've built my own house with this business. Most of many things. I'm married. I have a kid with this business, feeding them. In a week, in a day, if there is work, we can get up to 10,000 naira, 15 or more than that. So in a week, we can get up to 70,000, 80,000. I'm not regretting this job because I've used this job to achieve things a lot. So there's nothing of me regretting. I'm boast of this job and I'm proud of this job.
When we say there are many ways money can be made from this, we are not joking. Even waste products from this sawing process are bagged and sold to people who engage in other businesses, which is a way of job creation. Did I hear you say from waste to wealth? Ogochukwu and others in the business can only hope that the business environment in Nigeria keeps improving. Kunle Adeyeye for Business24.
Now, available data shows that Nigeria is the largest consumer of furniture in West Africa. More than 70% of that consumption is satisfied by local manufacturers. If studies by the CSIL Milan is anything to go by, Nigeria has huge prospects for expansion of the furniture production for both local and international consumption. Therefore, skill acquisition has become a global discuss as it provides an alternative to white-collar job. Comfort Amodu discovered some young Nigerians whose ingenuity in the creative arts stands them out at the furniture markets in Abuja.
You cannot easily find data on how much Nigerians spend on furniture, but it is safe to say that it must be substantial. Everybody needs and seeks furniture, and it comes at a price. For a long time, the best quality furniture was imported and foreigners cashed in on the market. But now, Nigerians are looking inwards, and it is not just out of patriotism, but the fact that made in Nigerian furniture now looks good and feels good. It is the product of increasing investment from entrepreneurs who can see that there is money to be made here. Kubo Market on the fringes of Asokoro, Abuja, is the hub of furniture making in the capital city. There are well over 400 furniture makers, many of them artisans or carpenters churning out thousands of locally made furnitures. This is why you'll find two budding entrepreneurs with interesting stories and a lot of promise. King Akko, a civil engineer and former banker, while Paul Ume trained as a software developer. They have both turned to furniture making, and their backgrounds have provided them with critical skills to impact on the business.
We want to be a first-class furniture maker in Africa. We are also selling precision, quality, and products in what we produce here.
But at the end of the day, the result is amazing. You know, because I mean, taking rough piece of wood, this wood I'm working on now is okpei. At the end of the day, basically, when you walk with it, you get, this is going to go on a dining table. So when you do get a dining table at the end of the day, the joy is just amazing.
How do they source the raw materials for their products?
Pine, for instance, the ones you have over there, are foreign wood, right? But we do not buy them as wood. What we do is we go to some markets. There are some people that buy them from crates. They were used to ship things in, so from crates and all that. So they come as used wood.
Materials, there are many things we are doing in the furniture industry, and the value chain is actually enormous. Basically, we have what we call the MDF, the medium density fibers. They are mostly imported into the country. We have not built capacity to be able to produce this locally.
One thing these two need to make business thrive more is financing, and this is where they want the government to come in.
As we continue the use, maybe it will draw the attention of the federal government by the time they see the volume of the trade tie between Nigerians and the countries where we're importing this product for, to begin to develop capacity locally.
Extremely good quality projects with local material. So you do not have to go and import projects. We give extremely good quality projects, but with locally sourced material, basically.
So how do you get financed? Outside the small and medium entrepreneurs at Kubo, there are many Nigerian furniture makers now thriving and tapping into what was once an untapped gold mine. Comfort Amodu for Business24.
Thank you, Comfort, for that contribution. Moving on now, let's meet our young entrepreneur for the week.
On our segment of the Young Entrepreneur today, I have a very young man, Tony Onche, who is a software developer. I'm Comfort Amodu. Tony, it's good to meet you.
Very much, my pleasure.
Okay. When you're talking about software development, what is it all about?
Software in itself are piece of codes that are written to actually carry out a specific functions. These softwares are written in different programming languages, and we have a lot of them. So these programming languages are actually compiled by the computer system to run the code that has been written to carry out the instructions. So that is basically what software does for us. So basically, if you want to design a website, like I said, we can't really talk much because this is a little bit more complicated than what a basic learner would want to see. What you should have in mind is if you want to design a website, designing a website does not involve you writing code, like I said. It is a developer that actually makes it to work, and that is where writing of codes come in. As a developer, you need to learn HTML syntax for you to develop a website.
So how long have you been doing this?
So the years I spent at home to actually get admission to school could not be just wasted. So my dad opted that I should just learn how to type. In typing, I have this brother, my immediate elder brother, who is so good in computing, and he never learned it from anywhere. So I picked up challenge from him when he told me I could also do what he does. And he showed me how to watch videos on YouTube and do these things myself. So I grew up through watching YouTube videos and began to design web pages myself.
What this software developing, does it really bring in cash? Put money in your pocket. How much?
Really. Okay, how much money? Okay, for web design, because there are actually softwares that let you design websites without you knowing how to write code. So those softwares are actually also written by programmers. They call them content management system. Examples of them are WordPress and Joomla, and I guess you must have heard about them too. To develop a website with WordPress, you don't need to know how to write codes at all. All you need to do is click and add what you actually want. So because a lot of people can do that themselves now because of the difficulty to survive in the country, it actually affected the pricing for website. Even software developers like us are caught in the loop. So we are forced to actually provide a solution. So for a web design, you don't get, let's say, so much more than 50,000 naira. That is you designing the website and also developing it. What I really like about software development is having to think and bring something to life. Creativity is everything around that actually makes us enjoy what we do today.
Then it's really good to meet you and get to know what you're doing. I hope to learn how to develop a website too.
Anytime, you're welcome to everyone to learn.
Okay. Well, it's good to know that young Nigerians are determined to do good work and earn legitimate money without necessarily doing criminal activities to survive.
Now, every manufacturer strives to expand his or her business beyond local borders. That is exports. So we have our house experts on exports transactions, Femi Boyede.
Now, when you talk about exports in Nigeria, the only incentive that has been known over the years, even though there are actually 18 of them, the one that has been known and much talked about is the Export Expansion Grant. So now in comes the Export Development Fund. I just try as briefly as possible, but as clearly as possible to explain what it is so that exporters can benefit from it. The Export Development Fund is right now the most aggressive contribution to non-oil exports, pre-shipment incentive, I must say, the only active pre-shipment incentive that is currently being administered by the Nigeria Export Promotion Council on behalf of the Nigerian government. Now, the Export Development Fund is supposed to develop That's just if you remember, the keyword in the export expansion grant is to expand export. Now this is supposed to develop, and it covers just about everything once you have taken the decision to export. If a desiring exporter cannot put together a feasibility study that actually captures an export business plan, he can apply to the administering agency, NEPC, for the EDF. A part of it will be allocated for him to pay for the services of a consultant who will help him to put together an export business plan. The Export Development Fund is also supposed to help an exporter conduct market research, or in more direct terms, do you have a challenge with shipment? For example, there is a delay in your ship and your perishable product is already at the port of shipment, whether it's Apapa or Tinkan or Port Harcourt, and you need to quickly store these products in a warehouse. Or for that matter, you have an export contract that requires you on a monthly basis to regularly store before shipment. You can apply to the Export Development Fund. Any challenges that you face as an exporter before your goods get on board the ship, you can come to the NEPC, I imagine, to apply under the Export Development Fund.
Now let's take a look at how the markets fared.
Commodity prices, you look at it that we are now getting towards production period. So we're exhausting the commodity we have in circulation, and volumes supplied is declining. So we expect that if for certain commodities like soybeans, you're already seeing scarcity and prices are reaching all-time high of about 180,000 at the manufacturer's gate prices. Maize prices still remain flat over the trend because prices of imported products still remain lower than import parity. So the import parity prices are lower than local prices. So that has held maize steady, but volume is declining. Rice, we are about approaching a new season. Product of paddy, which is the raw material for rice milling, is still on the high side, which is about 10% above the normal traded price at the beginning of the season. And we expect that with the new product, prices will be reset back. So generally speaking, the activity demand is strong and high. Volume traded are increasing, but supply of certain commodities are low. On the export side, ginger, which is one of the commodities that Nigeria trades very much, the prices have been very flat because of an international glut, which is affecting demand. And if you look at cocoa international prices are higher, but we need to be careful of how much value actually goes to our farmers that are producing this product.
Wow, how time flies. We have come to the end of this edition. I hope it has been rewarding for you as it has been for me. Do keep a date with us same time next week. And remember to reach us on the platform showing on your screen. I am Sophie Aibumia. Bye for now.